Good evening, seeing the appointed time has arrived, the chair opens up the Wednesday, November 19th, 2025 meeting of the Mashpee Planning Board at 6:30 PM. We're meeting at the Mashpee Town Hall, Wacoit Meeting Room, 16 Great Neck Road North, Mashpee, Massachusetts. We're being broadcast live on channels 8 and 1070. This meeting is also being recorded. It's also being streamed live on the Town of Mashpee website, www.mashpeema.gov/channel-8. Welcome, everybody. I'd like to invite everybody to rise with me and recite the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We have a set of minutes
You had
from,
me confused for a little while. A little delay.
we have a set of minutes from November 5th, 2025. I read them. They looked good. I don't know if anybody had any edits.
They're all the agendas.
No edits.
No edits. There are some edits from the town planner, slight ones, so I'd accept a motion to accept the minutes of November 5th, 2025 as amended.
So be.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. 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 Okay. So you know what? We have a member remoting in, so we have to do it by roll call vote. Dale?
Aye.
Dennis?
Aye.
Michael?
Aye.
Karen? Aye. Mary is an aye as well. Thank you. Okay, we have no public hearings. In the audience, is there a matter that you'd like to speak on? Come on up.
Oh, Madam Chair, before that, though, could we do the A&R since it's already set up for board signature?
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, so
That's the Godfrey Road.
Godfrey
Excuse me,
Road.
not A&R, the Godfrey Road layout
Barbie
acceptance.
Circle Road taking Mylar signature. So what do we have to do? We have to just go up and sign? We've already approved it?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, let's
All of
go.
us.
Yes.
Okay, I should get extra credit for the long walk.
The booby trap. So we've already signed it, so why are we signing it again?
You have not. The select board has signed it, not the planning board.
Oh, thank you. I know, I thought it was, yeah. That must be why there's all these signed here.
Thank you. Oops. Okey-doke.
Okay, now, Mr. Dorsey, come on up, and just make sure you speak into the microphone so everybody can hear you at home.
My name's Timothy Michael Dorsey. I live at 86 Blue Castle Drive, Mashpee. September 4th of 2024, I had a meeting here, the planning board. I had two agendas. They were publicly announced before the meeting. And then there was a 20-day appeal. No one appealed. I named the Mary Ernestine Carter subdivision at the end of Blue Castle Drive, the last 5 homes, and then Clay encompassed them with a boundary around all 5 properties, so no one could ever, get into Blue Castle Drive. And I also notified the police department and the fire department, as I was told. Now I understand that I'm asking, what is the status of the Mary Ernestine Carter subdivision now? I heard that it was not a subdivision. And Mr. Tobin has a little grin on his face. I want to know.
No, I don't have it on the agenda, and I
Yeah,
forget.
right. Well, it was on the agenda.
on
It
the-
was all documented. I have all the legal documents. I save every single legal document that ever was, especially on Blue Castle Drive.
So
And that's
was it-
another issue that I'll be talking about also, but not today.
So I would have to, you're saying this was in September 4th, what year?
2024, I gave the education of how the Lilly Pharmaceutical family had a nanny. It was all woods, but it was recorded at the Registry of Deeds as a private way. It was all subdivided. They blazed a 10-foot wide road into the end, a little two-bedroom ranch they built. Out pops Jamaican immigrants. They named it Blue Castle Drive. The Jamaicans, the nanny and the Lilies. Blue for the Blue Mountains in Jamaica, and Castle Drive is a prestigious road in Jamaica that leads to an ancient castle thousands of years old. Now, there's a history there, and I documented everything. I have all the documents. There was no appeal, 20 days, everything. I was on the agenda. Now I come to find out that Mr. Tobin says that there's no such subdivision. So I'm here looking for an answer.
So I'll have to research that, Mr.
Okay,
Johnson.
Mr. Tobin can probably answer it quick enough. He's the town planner, and he knows everything. There he is with a smirk
Madam
again. I
Chair.
don't
Oh, no,
understand that
Madam
smirk.
Chair, so first of all, for the record, I am smiling because I'm a happy individual. It's not a grin or a smirk directed at Mr. Dorsey nor his situation in any way, shape, or form. I will say that 2024 precedes my time as a town planner. I was not there when this purported subdivision was purportedly
Tom
acted
Fidella
upon
was. He was
by
the
this
acting
vote.
town planner.
Madam Chair, if we could ask members of the public to kindly observe the Robert's Rules of Order, I would appreciate it.
Okay, well, that's up to me.
And I'm
So-
asking you to ask the members of the public to do that.
Yeah. So I think what I have to do is I'm going to have to look at the agenda for the September 4th, 2024.
Oh, yeah, it was all recorded. They called me the Lilies,
Okay.
Mary
Madam-
Ernestine Carter is no longer with us. She's buried at the Indian Cemetery. She knew all the Indians here. She lived here forever. And
right,
her
so
her
I'll have
nieces
to-
still
I'll
own the
have-
property, and
yeah.
the Lilies come and visit. I'm friends
right.
with the Lilly family, actually.
So I'm going to have to, we're going to have to research that.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'll give you the whole videotape of the meeting.
We can do that. I can look up
Okay.
the minutes. Okay.
Okay.
Now, you
when should
said
I
there was
come
a
back
second issue.
to find out your research?
Well, I don't know if I'm going to put it on the agenda or not.
Okay, well, I
But
will.
I
I'll just
mean-
come here every,
Right. I mean, if I find something substantial, then I'll put it on the agenda. If I can't find it out, we'll get in touch with you and try to
well,
figure
right
out
now,
what this is.
it
So-
was wiped off. I already spoke with Clay at the GIS department. He said that Mr. Tobin came into his office and wiped it off. So.
Well,
you-
I need to do research. So you said there was
well,
a second
You do
issue.
your research and,
Yeah.
and I'll be back.
You said there was a second issue?
Excuse me?
Did you say there were two things you wanted to talk to us about? The
Yeah,
fir-
we'll get back to Blue Castle Drive another night. I
Okay.
don't have
You
the
have something,
documents
Brian?
with me tonight.
So we need to do more research before we can discuss it.
Well, Madam Chair, if I may,
Okay.
I'm happy to comment on the familiarity that I have with this concern since I've started here. So again, I was not there in 2024. The research that I did do on this is that there is no valid subdivision. That requires a valid a valid plan voted on and acted upon by this board pursuant to MGL Chapter 41, either a preliminary plan and then a definitive subdivision plan or just a definitive subdivision plan. That plan then needs to be signed by the board and recorded at the registry. That's never happened for a subdivision of that name. If Mr. Dorsey believes the case is otherwise, he should, if he desires to return to the board, he should bring a copy of the recorded plan. We did meet, I believe, in my
But
office about
the
this. and I-
subdivision's been there since 1964. People have lived there since 1964. It's a subdivided area. You threw in the cluster development in a private road against everybody's wishes, and then she shows up one day and says if anything was done illegally to create Aquay Highlands, the statute of limitation has run out. Now, I live at the end of the road, the last 5 homes. If I was told to record it at the registry of deeds, which I talked to Tom Fadella, he said that wasn't necessary. I don't know how one town planner can instill something in stone, and then you show up
All right, so
and then wipe it out.
this is why I didn't want to,
If-
I didn't want to
I can
continue.
take this to
So
court.
I'm gonna table this, and I made a
All right, well,
suggestion.
thank you for your time. I don't want to get into
Right.
a bickering. I have all the documents, I have an attorney. I know everybody here. I can get the constable easily.
I'm gonna look at the minutes, September 4th, 2024, and go from there, okay?
No problem.
All right, Tim, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Sir, any other member of the public that would like to speak? Okay. All right, so board engineer reports. No, I guess we don't have any board engineer report. I didn't get
I don't
any.
have a board engineer.
Do you have that later on?
That is later on
Okay.
in my town planner report.
Old business, we already
but
did
Madam,
go-
Madam Chair, respectfully, though, there is another comment
You know
I would like
what?
to make.
But we can do that when it's on the agenda as an item.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. I do need to make this comment, and it's important for the public to know. Subdivision control law is a highly regulated statute where there are, very objective standards and procedures to go through. I would suspect with the high degree of confidence, the prior town planner, Mr. Tom Fadalla, adhered to them, and I certainly know that I do.
I accept that statement. Thank you, sir. Okay, moving on. Old business, we did the first item. Second is Osprey Court Special Permit Modification Appeals, period, signatures. So it's past the appeal period?
Yes, it is, and that is exciting news. We have the decision here, signed off by the clerk. It just requires the board to sign off on it. At this stage, it requires the signatures of all board members, so I'll put the signature page on the top. The other good news is we're near finalization of the draft with the CR. Myself, as well as town council's office, attorney Robert Mills and Mark Robinson from the Compact, which has been representing the Native Land Conservancy on the open space component of the cluster subdivision, have been working through the draft of the conservation restriction for the open space that's a part of this special permit and the cluster subdivision. We were hoping to get it out to the state today. There's just one other kind of minor wording issue that we're navigating and getting just doing a little bit more fine tuning on before it gets sent out. So there's just a conversation that's almost complete between town council's office and Mark, and I'm cautiously optimistic that tomorrow it'll get sent to the state. Now, that process can take up to and potentially even over a year to get state approval, and there will be opportunities to continue to tweak wording as the state opines on the conservation restriction.
Do I forge Karen's signature here or what?
No.
Brian, I'll come in, maybe tomorrow.
That would-
Gary, Brian?
Yeah, that would be great. You're welcome to come in anytime.
All right. Local comprehensive plan review and update. So does everybody have a copy of the plan they're comfortable reviewing? There's one, I think there's one up there. So I wanted to share with you something that Karen emailed in. It's about the vision statement.
Okay.
So what I was thinking of doing is maybe, I did a little research myself. I was thinking of maybe passing these out and talking about them more at our next meeting.
Okay.
All right? So those are Karen's written comments about the vision statement.
Can I just ask a question? The reason for this is because it's mandated by the state, right? The local
No.
No. I thought I read that.
Yes.
It is, I read it in the
is.
statement.
Each town is mandated by the state to have a comprehensive plan, a master plan. And our regional planning commission is the Cape Cod Commission.
Right.
So they're special because there's the Cape Cod Commission Act,
Right.
right?
Another state mandated.
So they do the regional policy plan, which our local comprehensive plan is supposed to be in line with.
And it's.
So
and
we
it's-
don't go to jail if we don't have one, but we don't, we forfeit authority on certain things if we
Right.
don't.
Well, Dennis had talked about that, right? And, but
It's
But this
advantageous for us to
this
have.
is mostly in the theoretical vision for the future kind of a plan, right? And it also allows us,
Action steps.
it also allows us to apply for grants if this is in the local comprehensive plan,
Not-
is that?
Well,
No,
I think what Mike's getting at is that if you do apply for grants and you have a local comprehensive plan, pointing to themes in the local comprehensive plan in support of a grant application is beneficial.
All right.
I mean, it makes you look like you're together. Because I work in a planning office, as does Brian, when people are shopping around for like a headquarters of a certain kind of company, they often come and pull the LCP to see, to learn about the town. So let's say you were a town that wanted a sports stadium, right? You put that in your LCP, that we're gonna attract a sports station, and then, gee, you're a developer that wants to put a sports stadium on Cape Cod, and you read in the local comprehensive plan, oh, you're a match. So it does help with predictability for developers.
But that all depends if the town wants that sports facility.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm just using that as an example. Let's say we wanted to have, a poetry center, and we put it in our LCP. I mean, people, believe it or not, developers do look at this stuff, to see if their investment will blossom in that town. It's,
Another, if I may, Madam
Yeah.
Chair, another benefit of it as well is it can actually come into play in 40B litigation.
oh,
Yeah. It can be something that the courts look to as to whether or not a proposed project that's on appeal fits in with the town's overall scheme. So,
Oh, okay, I got that.
that's good. And this, if we have a certified plan, a plan that's approved by the Cape Cod Commission, we can enter into development agreements, three-party development agreements. If we don't have a certified plan, then the development agreement can go forward.
Certified by the Cape Cod Commission. I mean, because honestly, and I know a lot of people have done a lot of work, and there's some great information in here, but there are some obvious, like, pie in the sky kinds of things. It's just, I mean, the statement like, and I know, because it applies to me, those over 65 may have difficulty evacuating during an event. Well, I can guarantee I have a little more trouble than Dale. But there's some, there wasn't enough action steps for me in it. I guess, I don't know enough about it, that's why I'm asking the question, Mary, it just,
Thank goodness you're here, because we're gonna want you to fill in those action steps.
okay. Well, the first one I would like to suggest is a traffic plan for that area around the proposed Trader Joe's and Chipotle and the 3 or 4 developments that are going up that just, I keep driving by there shaking my head saying, how is this all gonna work out?
And you still got Mashpee Court that developed behind that.
Right.
With all the houses and stuff they're gonna build.
Yeah, it's but that's the kind of thing that I wanted
Well,
to see more.
so put it on the
Write it
list.
down. I
We
will
haven't,
definitely.
we
Good to
haven't,
know.
we haven't gotten to that page yet.
Yeah, there's a lot of pages.
Yeah.
I did try to get through some of them, but a lot of it was just, and I appreciate the sentiment of it. It's just that I'd like to see more teeth.
Yeah.
All right.
That's great feedback.
Yeah, so I've got a lot of notes too.
Okay.
So just don't lose them at this point. So that's the vision statement. In general, my comment about the vision statement is it's like it was before, it's way too long. So hopefully we can boil it down.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can, there's kind of like since we've last looked at this, there's been work on the right to clean nature movement, and I'd like to think about how to work that into the vision statement as well.
All right.
Okay. Now, I have a question for Brian. I couldn't find the growth policy statement in here.
So the growth policy statement is a part of the RPP, and what my understanding of the requirement is that our vision statement should include and/or align with the growth policy
Okay.
policy statement. In
I
the
don't think
RPP.
we wrote the vision statement with that in mind.
No, and that was so. I have a number of items that aren't in your packet because they came in after the deadlines for the meeting packet to close. They will be in the packet the following week. One of which is an email dating back to 2024 from the Cape Cod Commission regarding areas to make adjustments to the draft plan.
If you could
I
send
had a
that out earlier
conversation-
than later, that would be very helpful to me.
I had a conversation with Chloe Schaefer today and received the email today. And I was, that along with a number of other items of feedback that I received from department heads and planning on sharing with the board tonight. And then they'd also be in the meeting packet. And I'm also happy to, at Madam Chair's request, send them out to the board
Yeah,
in advance. So
yeah, and then throw them in the packet so we all have them, but, because I'll be working on these, like, on the weekends.
Sure.
all
But
right,
I
so-
also plan this evening, Madam Chair, to read that email, so it can help contextualize conversations.
All right, so, here's a history of, the growth policy statement. As it's been in the regional policy plan, which is Cape Cod Commission's plan, okay? And then here's, Town of Truro, their growth policy statement. See, they all have, these, Truro and Sandwich, I'll give this one to you right now. Truro and Sandwich, oh, I got to keep one for me. They have recently approved LCPs, and they have a vision statement and a separate growth policy statement. It's all the same. And so that's Truro, and then this one is Sandwich. So those are just examples. And then this was my comments. I think I promised you these a while ago. Those are the comments that we sent in to the Cape Cod Commission on the regional policy plan, and it had to, it focused on the growth policy.
All right, this is,
I mean, this does deserve a good bit of attention, right? Especially as I just discussed a little while ago, all those things happening around Mashpee Commons that impact traffic, and that rotary is going to be tested to the gills, isn't it? Anyway,
Right, and I haven't read the new traffic chapter. I don't know if you've gotten that far in it.
I got to that, and then that sort of prompted there was a lot about it, but not enough, what do we do about it?
Right, okay. All right, so. That's what I brought you tonight. Brian, anything else you'd like to add before I go into kind of like what our next steps should be?
Sure. Well, I was hoping in general we would have a decent amount of board discussion on the topic this evening.
Okay,
To the extent that the board has started to go over, it sounds like Mike certainly has some ideas already.
Yeah.
You as well, and if other board members, I know Karen had mentioned she started to diligently review the plan.
yeah, and usually what I do is I go page by page and take comments
Okay.
like that. And then we go through, I mean, that's how that's how I've chaired reviews of documents like this in the past.
Sure.
We go page by page.
Sure.
Or 254 pages?
Well, if you're gonna put your name on it, I'm gonna go
Yeah.
through page, I mean, there's a lot of pages, we won't have comments. But,
Is there how many different chapters are there in this? A lot.
Several. Yeah.
there's
I mean,
9.
Would it be?
and subparts, of course. Like
Are there any chapters that we don't have to go through at all?
I haven't read them all, so I don't know,
To me, there's probably a lot of them.
right? Do you wanna go through the emails, or do you want me to go through the structure of the document?
Regarding the sharing of my comments, I'm happy to do it either at the beginning or the end. In addition to this, when you say the structure of the document, you're gonna just talk, like kind of generally about the plan, or?
Yeah, I kinda wanted to, talk to Mike about the pieces that I think that are really important to focus on.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm more than happy to share my comments at the end.
Okay.
Yeah. either
So,
way.
we've got an introduction, right? And we've got a vision statement. And so what I'd like to do is what Truro and Sandwich did, was have a separate growth policy. So maybe somewhere on that page, we'll add a growth policy, because they're really looking for a growth policy statement.
Where would you add it to?
Just on page I-2, it says, what is a vision? Then we have Mashpee's visions, and guiding principles. So hopefully, I don't know where the guiding principles came from. And I'm not sure that we need it if we have a vision statement. But we could have a growth policy statement.
Yeah, that's important, I would think.
Yeah.
Mary, is that
So-
separate from what's in the vision statement?
I would like it to be separate.
Okay.
I think the vision statement is kind of like a heart and soul of the town. And I get it that the growth policy statement could be inside the vision statement, but I think it should be separate.
What?
Well, you already said it's too long, the vision is too long, so I don't think we want to extend it. So I think maybe just separate, completely separate.
Yeah, I think they're looking for it, it's a checkbox they have to, it's a box they have to check off. I think we should make it easy for them.
Okay.
Yeah. And we can look at what those other 2 towns did, we can read theirs, and then,
I think it can also be like either a subsection or in the same section as vision, so you can do like vision and growth policy
Yes.
statement. Yeah.
that's what we
And-
would do, yep.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. And so we have an introduction, a little bit about Mashpee, a little bit about the process. And that brings us to page I-14. I-15 Michael, this is where we start with the implementation. Okay, so you start to see, you know, what are all these initials? Did you want a copy of the plan? Because it's up here. There's an extra copy, okay. And it talks about what a goal, policy, and action is. The major themes have symbols. Yep, he's taking the plunge. He's gonna take it, all right. And then we have, for each chapter, an implementation plan that starts on page 16. So these chapters, just for the public, one on housing, economic development, sustainability, natural resources, land use, heritage and preservation, open space and recreation, municipal buildings, facilities and services, and transportation and circulation, okay? So this is an implementation chart with goals, followed by
What are you
policy,
doing here, Mary?
I-16.
Okay.
I lost my pen. That's why I need my wife.
So for each one of those 9 chapters, there's a section that's goals, policies, and actions. So this is where, Michael, you suggested an action, right?
Yes.
So you'll have to find what page transportation's on, read the actions, and if that's not there, then put it in.
Okay.
That's all you do.
And if I may make one other suggestion there, for Mr. Milbury, if you see an action that generally addresses your topic, but you think that there's a more specific topic that needs special attention, that's another way to do it.
Yep.
Is you take that general action and it may say, study traffic in the town. You could then add to that same action with a particular focus on the traffic on Route 28 near the Mashpee Commons area.
Yep.
I mean, the first goal, H1,
What page are you on?
I'm on I-16.
Okay, that's housing. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, ensure that Mashpee residents and its workforce have access to safe, decent, affordable, and diverse types of housing options. I don't know what to do with that. Of course.
That's a goal.
That's a goal. And what's the action?
It start on 17. Each goal should have, well, each action should link up to a goal. Each policy should link up to a goal.
So the way it's broken down, just for everybody in the board, is it's goals, policies, and action by category. So housing, for example, is under H, and first it lists H goals, and those start at 1 through however many goals there are.
Right.
Then it talks about policies, then actions, and those are all numbered separately.
Right, but
Where do actions begin?
H1
I-17.
on page I-17.
Right. And if you have a paper copy, unfortunately, the blue banner that says actions is on page 16. You know what I mean? It has a little formatting squiggle. So
It's definitely,
So-
color's definitely easier to read.
when you read the introduction, you know, you become familiar with all the things that we did in 2022 to start this off. One was a workshop, an introductory workshop on vision. Then there was a workshop on community systems. Then there was a workshop on natural systems, and then there was a workshop on built systems. And there was a survey, and the survey results are in the back.
Okay, so we're in goals in H1.
Oh, wait, let me just finish. Let me
Sure,
just finish.
sure.
So, what I did with all this information, from all those comments, from the survey, from all those 4 workshops, I put them all on big Excel spreadsheets and made sure that they were covered by our policy, our goals, our policies, and actions in each one of our categories. It was hours of work. So
Yeah, I'm sure it was, it
that's
looks like it's
where,
incredible
that's where
work.
these come from. They come from either our previous LCP
Right.
or the new input from 2022. It's kind of like when you read them, you can tell they're kind of like chunky and they weren't all written by the same person, right? Because they were people's comments and quotes and, maybe survey results and stuff like that. But it's all in here. It's all in here. And I mean, we can make it smoother if we want, but these are not things that we just.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's no
Right.
question how much work's gone into it,
These
but.
were all based on either comments from, either from previous approved plans or new comments in 2022.
So this H1, conduct a visual preference survey or other suitable engagement activity, blah, 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 was that in the previous plan as well?
No, that was a comment by our then town planner. What a visual survey
So-
is
so who's going
to,
to conduct the visual survey? Brian?
exactly.
And we're going
So,
to.
wait a minute. Responsibility is the second to last column. Okay? So it's PLD, AHC, PB, SB. What does PLD mean? So there's a code. PLD means police department, don't know why they're in there. The Affordable Housing Committee, the Planning Board, and the Select Board. Those are the responsible parties. Now,
Okay.
this is a draft, right? So we're definitely gonna take out the police station, right, the police department. I don't know, that's a mistake. But that's what we can discuss. Who's responsible for getting that done?
Wouldn't the fire department be better than the police? Because,
Well, this is a visual and preference survey to talk about the types of housing styles.
all right, but they still, the fire department usually make sure that the fire truck is in there and it's not over 800 feet.
This is a fancy way of saying, this is a fancy way of introducing different types of densities into a town through a visual exercise. Like, would you be okay with this building in your, me, I'd like to strike that because
I actually would too.
I know where that's going.
Yeah,
And-
well, not
And
only
that
that, but I
was
just don't-
a,
it conflicts with other goals. Like if you look in the land use goals, it talks about preserving the small town character of Mashpee.
right, and H1 contradicts that. So that was a philosophical conflict that we hadn't yet resolved. This is a draft.
And-
But as we go through this, you're gonna hear, like, I want to strike that.
But, and when it gets to these actions, and you have 4 different categories right now, police, affordable housing, planning board, who's in charge of this?
That's a good comment. When we get to the chart, right?
Yeah. Because the next one's the same, procure a consultant to assist with community engagement and facilitation of design charrettes, and it still has 3 different departments.
Yep.
But I'd like to be able to point the finger at Brian if he hasn't done his job.
Sorry, which part?
Just
were you-
kidding.
I'm still trying to figure out where to put your traffic comment, Mike. I was trying to help you out with that. That's why I'm reading through the land use section. But which
So
point were you referring to?
Michael is saying, under the column
Yeah.
responsibility.
Yeah.
He wants it to be a main responsible party.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're in order of, so whoever's number 1 at the top is the primary responsible person.
the police department is?
The
Well,
police-
so-
the PLD is obviously a typo.
That is planning. PLD is meant to, so
Oh.
in the grid at the top, this is my reading of it, okay? And I wasn't here for the initial drafting. But my reading of it is that PLD, even though they said that's police, is actually meant to be planning.
Well, but
Because
they have
Boy,
PB.
is that a typo.
Yeah,
Okay.
whereas
But they
PD
have P-
is supposed to be the police department, which is what every other municipality in Massachusetts refers to the police department
Yeah,
as.
but
is
in this
PD.
It's
category,
wrong on this.
On the chart at the beginning, so that
Okay.
means everywhere you see PLD, if you're thinking police, I'm pretty sure they really mean planning,
Well, what does
because
PB
if you
mean
look
then?
at, if
Planning
you look
board.
at
and what's PLD supposed to mean?
It-
PLD
it-
Planning director.
no, planning department, but yeah.
Okay, as
PLD
opposed-
now means planning department, PD means
So-
police
So I
department.
am working on my own internal department red lines of this, and that's one of the first things I fixed, is that PLD means planning, and I think that was the actual intention, and that it is a typo, because like if you look at the land use items, the overwhelming majority of them start with PLD. And there's only one that starts with PD, and I think that's the only one that even has PD in it. And I'm pretty sure that that too is a typo, because it should be PLD. Because it's reassess current parking requirements and consider how to minimize parking impacts on aesthetic quality in the environment. Maybe the police care about parking. I think the fire department probably cares about it more, to the extent that it's blocking their ability to put out fires. But I think the police would probably care more about traffic and things like speeding and moving traffic violations. So that probably is meant to be PLD too. When I say PLD too, I mean PLD as well, TOO. And they're really, in land use, PLD's all over the place. It's PD and PLD. So I'm pretty sure at the chart at the very beginning, where it says Police Department PLD, they really mean Police Department PD. And then when it says Planning Department PD, they really mean Planning Department PLD.
Well, I want somebody at the top of the list that really is in charge and pushes everything forward on these activities.
Yeah, so I do think that that's, sorry, go ahead.
That's why you're saying PLD is really planning department, and that's why it's at the top.
Yeah, so when PLD is at the top, it means planning department is supposed to be the Clydesdale on it. When PB is at the top, planning board, although I think to a large degree they can be interchangeable. You know, if you go to the chart in the very beginning, you can see all the acronyms. So,
So we'll be spending a lot of time on that chart.
What do these letters mean?
well, if I could just finish my point. If you go to page I-15, that's where the chart is. So BH is Board of Health. I would even recommend a change there and just call it BOH, because that's the more commonly accepted acronym. BD is Building Department, PB Planning Board, SB Select Board, SC is the Sewer Commission, SD is the School Department. So wherever you see one of those acronyms at the top of a list, whoever's at the top in bold is supposed to be the Clydesdale.
Okay.
And then the remaining acronyms at the bottom of the list are, I
So,
am speculating with a reasonable degree of certainty, are intended to be in order of their, the degree of their contribution.
Okay, so, the column that you're talking about, Dennis, which has S, M, O, that's time frame. So what is S, short term?
Yes.
Thank you. What's M?
Medium.
What is O?
Well, so I think that means ongoing, but it doesn't say anywhere, and that's another red line / comment I have, which is we should put those definitions there as well. So I think O is ongoing. It seems to be the case, but I'm not 100% certain.
We have an L.
Yeah, and what is a medium?
So
Long-term?
for example, H6 is an O, and H6 is regularly fund the Affordable Housing Trust to take advantage of, et cetera, et cetera. I think the term regularly coupled with the O would tell me that O stands for ongoing.
And
Yeah.
there is an L later on that's, I'm assuming means long-term.
Yes, sir.
Must be.
But L
And there-
also means library in the,
Yeah, luckily they're in different columns though, because that would be really confusing if they
Okay,
weren't.
yeah.
But-
So go through a feasibility analysis to redevelop or relocate the Harbor Master Shack, blah, blah, blah. That's an L, long-term.
The
Oh,
other
and
thing
some of
that's
these are directly from staff. I remember that. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Nope. And the other thing that's important for the board to note is on I-14, just before that chart on I-15, it breaks down the dollar signal symbols. So each dollar symbol
Sorry, where
has
is that breakdown?
a range. On I-14, if you go to section I.V.II in Roman numeral caps, it's what's called the implementation table. It's the beginning of that section, and there's an introductory paragraph there, and it tells you the time frame. So S is 1 to 5 years, M is 5 to 10 years, and L is 10 plus years. Again, there's no O, so we should probably just say O is ongoing, and that should be an edit there. Cost estimates are based on a similar scheme consisting of a singular dollar sign is $0 to $50,000, a double dollar sign is $50,000 to $100,000, and a triple dollar sign is $100,000 plus.
So that would be good if that was put in a chart. Like, all of us missed that.
Put that, yeah.
The timeframes, you know what I mean? Like, those should be, that should be in a chart. But
So Brian, you should be looking, if you're in charge of this, just at the S.
Why don't we just say up to, if it's ongoing, it's one thing, but if it's.
Well, I hope L and O as well, Karen, unless you kick me out of town before then.
Yeah, I mean, but why do you need a symbol here? I mean, if it's a medium time frame, that's up to 5 years. And why put in this, I gotta go through the symbol stuff. Medium time frame, if it's immediate, then it's within the next 18 months. I gotta go back and look at the S's and the O's and the Q's and. Anyway.
Yeah, I think we should approach both the dollar signs and this is what I've been doing in my red lines. I've been approaching both the dollar signs and the time frames as more of a term of art and less of a science. So if I see something that's egregious, like if I see replace every town vehicle with electronic vehicles and put in charging portals and use solar panels to charge those cars, $1 sign, that's egregious. Like, we're putting in $3 signs because that's $100,000 plus, right? But otherwise, if it's like, convert one car to one, EV car and it says $1 sign, just leave it. You see what I'm saying? Like, if it's something extreme,
Yeah.
let's fix it. If it's not, let's not. And the reason why I'm saying that is we're shooting for Springtown meeting. So if we want to get this done at Springtown meeting, you can't be too picky. We've got to be picky, but not too picky. So if you see something that's totally outrageous with those, we'll fix them. But otherwise, play it where it lays.
all right, so I'm in the process of making sure, I had the draft of all these actions. I'm going through and making sure that everything that we had wanted to be in these charts, remember, Rob, we went through that?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm making sure they're all in there.
But, on the table.
Doesn't mean it's in
with all the
stone.
Symbols that we're discussing, just, any one of these tables, there's no header, so you don't know even what any of those columns mean.
Yeah, the formatting needs to be fixed.
All right, yeah, good.
Do you put the header on every page, or?
Yeah.
You need it at least once, but I would say on every page.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So then after that, and we'll be spending a lot of time in that, I know, but then after that, there's a chapter. And each section has an introduction, existing conditions, and is that it? Oh, and then they repeat the goals, policies, goals and policies. I'm sorry.
Economic
So
development.
so in housing, right, there's 1.1, introduction. 1.2, existing conditions. 1.3, challenges and opportunities. 1.4, goals and policies.
I'm sorry, what page are you on?
It's just each one of them.
Well, can you give me one
So
example?
I'm on page 1.1-1.
1-1?
So chapter 1 is housing. So you have section 1.1 is introduction. Section 1.2 is existing conditions.
So I'm sorry, your recommendation there is
No, I'm
to-
just going through the report. Each one of these 9 chapters has the same
Like structure.
structure.
Format, yeah.
All right.
They have an introduction, they have existing conditions. Okay?
Gotcha. Okay. I wasn't sure if you were recommending
Nope.
sub-table of contents.
Then they have challenges and opportunities, then goals and policies. So each one of those has that. That's how it's structured.
It's a very astute observation.
Like planning. And then at the end, you have your appendices, which is your references. The whole survey is in here. Eventually, we'll have public comment. So what we've done in the past with things like this is we've done one or two things. Sometimes we all read the whole thing. Sometimes we take a chapter. We divvy out the chapters. And then we go through it page by page and go through it, make the comments, and then nothing's lost.
The chapter by like giving up the chapters seemed like a good idea. I worked last time we were.
Yeah, but that's what.
Last time we did that, Karen had economic development, I had housing. Is there a chapter, Michael, that you
Yeah,
would
where-
like chapter 9?
Where are the chapters listed at the beginning,
Transportation.
right?
Yep,
I-1, yeah.
I-1.
All right, one, so,
So there's a nice one called transportation and
right at
circulation.
the end, right. Okay, that's, I put my name on that.
All right. Karen, do you want to still do economic development?
Yeah.
I'll do housing, if that's okay. I'll also look at the housing production plan, so that making sure our LCP does not conflict with our HPP, right?
So far, it actually looks pretty good.
Dennis, you want open space and rec?
Sure.
Is that okay with you? Okay. Dennis? Natural resources, how about sustainability as well? Would you do 2?
I'll do 2.
Okay, so that's, unless, Rob, you want sustainability. What do you want, Rob?
I haven't thought about this yet.
So we're going to give you chapter 8 then. You're the engineer. You should
No,
do
Brian,
buildings, facilities,
you
and
get
services.
chapter 8.
Yeah, yeah,
that's-
sustainability, I'll certainly take.
You want to do sustainability? Okay. Is that okay? Yeah?
That's all right.
Well, you guys can work together anyways, if you want. Okay,
I'm doing the whole thing. So
I know, but can you focus on land use?
Well, that brings
Yeah,
a
sure.
suggestion to mind. I mean, if you're doing it, Brian,
yeah,
why don't you set up a time where each one of us can come in for whatever time?
that's a great call with their respective
Yeah,
chapter.
Just come in and sit down with you and, okay, this is what we're going to bring to
That's
the
a great
board.
call. I like that. Yeah, with your respective chapters, after you've reviewed them, we'll schedule a time.
Yeah.
We'll do a powwow. I like it. Sorry. You know what? We'll huddle up.
That's a good idea.
So I think both Dale and Rob want to do sustainability. Is that good? Is that okay? All right.
As long as we get the rest covered, we've got chapter 6.
All right,
and
we have
chapter 8.
6 heritage and preservation, and then 8 municipal buildings.
I don't think that's boring, and I think
Oh, I think that's-
Rob, you wouldn't like that as an engineer. You wouldn't want to do municipal buildings. I would have thought that would be right up your alley.
I'll take it.
Okay, thank you, Rob. I owe you.
Attaboy, Rob. One for the team, but
And how about we all do heritage and preservation?
All right.
All right?
and what's the timetable on this?
Yesterday.
The timetable is June 2024.
This is
Oh, yeah.
This is what I propose. I propose at our next meeting, we start an hour early, we get it out to the press, let people know this is online. We have an hour-long time period people can give us comments.
On the whole thing?
On the whole thing. Remember, we already had 4 workshops and a survey.
And that was open to everybody, right?
Everybody, your comments should be in here.
So that's going to be the one and only opportunity to.
No, we'll have a formal, 30-day comment period at some time too.
Okay.
We have to have
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Well, if we're going to do a 30-day comment period, we're not making the Maytown meeting then. There's no way. Yeah, that's not happening.
No, I don't
So-
think we are either.
Yeah.
Well, that gives
Where,
us,
where there's 75 days between now and when warrant articles are
To
due.
break out in hives, okay.
Yeah, it's not happening.
So what about starting an hour early and inviting the public to come and make comment on it?
That's totally up to the board. I mean, I'm
Next-
here
next-
for the board,
next
so.
meeting, okay. So timeframe, so
When's the next meeting?
When are we gonna arrange with, meet with Brian?
next meeting is December 3rd, right?
Yes, December 3rd is the next meeting. And because the original plan was to shoot for May, it sounds like we may be rethinking that.
you're not, but anyways, you are.
Well, how are you going to do the 30-day comment period? Let's tackle that then. If we're still shooting for May, how are we going to do the 30-day comment period?
Well, 30 days from the time it
All we
goes?
have to have, okay, all we have to have is the warrant article in. We just have to have a placeholder. That's all we have to have.
When does the select board vote on the warrant articles?
It's weeks later, weeks and weeks and weeks.
We have to have it, what, February 11th?
You have to have your warrant articles in by that date.
Yeah.
But your warrant article can be the warrant article to approve this.
Yeah, it's just, in my mind, the warrant article will reference the date of the final plan, so you should have the final plan. So you would say like
The final
the
plan
February 2026 version of the local comprehensive plan.
Here's the town meeting, right?
Yep.
They have to have that warrant published in the newspaper by X amount of weeks before. That's the last day we can change the plan, because that's the date the public can come in and look at it.
Now,
Right,
don't
but
we
it
still have to-
won't, but then the title won't be in the warrant article, because the title typically includes the date.
Well, we'll date it that date, that publication date.
But you can't then change the warrant article then, oh, you mean like amend it on the floor or whatever?
No, the town manager's office can figure out what date they're gonna publish it in the newspaper, the warrant. That's the date of the local comprehensive plan. That's when it has to be in the library and in your office and available online for people to look at.
Okay, well, that makes it slightly less aggressive then, which is good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can, but you have to be very cognizant of that publication date in the newspaper.
Yeah, I mean, it's still very aggressive, but it makes it slightly less
Then
aggressive.
after town meeting approves it, we take it up to the Cape Cod Commission.
And they can say they still don't like it, so what do we do then?
So
They're gonna love it.
Yeah, you hope so.
They're gonna love it, because we're gonna put in the growth policy statement that they
All right,
want.
another question. They changed the thing in 2025, the policy plan, right?
Yeah,
So we have to make sure,
there's not much changes.
all right, because I don't want to say we didn't follow their new policy.
No, that's why you have the history.
All right, I didn't really go through all.
Yeah, because this is the draft 2025 RPP Regional Policy Plan.
Okay.
Growth Policy Statement, which they haven't actually voted on, but I don't anticipate it to change.
do you know when they're voting on it?
That could throw the Maytown meeting up if,
All they did
Yeah.
was, they added 3 words to it.
all right.
So I am gonna have the Cape Cod Commission look at it before we go to town meeting.
All right, good.
Because that's what we did with the HPP. I had EOHLC look at it before, both this board and the select board voted to approve it and adopt it and send it to the state. I had EOHLC look at it because I don't want us to have to come back and re-vote. So EOHLC took a look at it. There were a couple of things they suggested we tweaked, and one of them we tweaked, the other one we talked it out, and I clarified my interpretation of the wording, and they said that makes sense. Go ahead after checking with legal, and they approved. The EOHLC approved our HPP in 2 weeks, and that's a state entity.
Yeah, good work.
So we're going to definitely have the Cape Cod Commission take a look before we go to town meeting.
But it's another step in the process, too.
Right.
It absolutely is. But, this is going to be, we're running no huddle offense, and it's less than 2 minutes, and we need a touchdown. Now, maybe we score and win the game,
Mary's
maybe we
quarterback
don't,
in
but
this
we're going
team.
for it.
Oh, I'm like, oh, they went to sports. Oh, no.
I wish I had a good hockey analogy for you, Mike. I guess it's overtime. It's overtime, and we pulled the goalie.
Mayor, could you clarify for me the schedule, because I really don't understand it? December 3rd, 5:30 public comment, 6:30 the meeting, and what takes place at the meeting? When do various people go over these chapters?
Between 5:30 and 6:30, right?
I just want to make it clear that the public will have plenty of time to come and give us their comments on this.
So-
Maybe nobody will come, I don't know.
The other
Put it
thing,
in the paper.
I'd love to put it in the paper.
Yeah, I think we should put in this, if we can, next week or before the 3rd.
sure. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be an article regarding our meeting tonight. I did have a conversation with Callie today, and their newest hire is now covering planning board, and Lauren has moved over to the select board full-time. Lauren has already drafted an article on my presentation of this to this board, or this board's discussion of it. It was in last week's Enterprise, and I believe, I suspect I should say, there will be an article on my presentation to the select board on it this past Monday.
Right.
So certainly public's aware of it, but we can also ensure that it's made clear that on December 4th, we're doing a intensive public comment period on the LCP.
Third.
Excuse me, the
The
3rd.
3rd.
Excuse me.
And what else do we have on that night, that schedule that night? Do we have any public hearings?
We have the Trader Joe's, don't we?
That's on the 17th. Yeah, and also
Cheers.
Topspin Way will likely be on the 17th too, so I can't think of anything right off the top of my head that.
So good comment,
could arguably,
Karen.
so we could arguably even then just do it as a regular public meeting, because I mean we have the time. If we're starting at 6:30, and
I want to start at 5:30.
okay,
Yeah,
just
I definitely want to start at 5:30.
what happens if only one person shows up?
Then we have another hour to work on this.
Okay,
So that means each one of us are going to have to meet with you before December 3rd.
I don't think no, I don't think so.
Oh, you're right. We
Yeah.
won't get through it all.
No, yeah, I don't think that that's the case, and here's why. Each board member's red lines do not need to be finished before the public can begin commenting on it, because
Right.
the point of each board member redlining things is to put in their input, yes, but also if they receive public comment that they agree with, they can put that in their sections as well, and then present it to the board.
Okay.
Because if we had them.
What if we're ready to go forward with one of the chapters? Could we work on it that night, December
Oh,
3rd?
no, absolutely, but
Okay.
so.
We have to do
so-
a growth policy,
So Mary.
right? I mean, we could do that, and we should be able to do that, and we're gonna write a page in one night.
Well, I want to do that post Cape Cod Commission feedback, or we could do a draft and then get it over to the Cape Cod Commission, actually. Either way works, but
Sometimes people do the vision statement and the growth policy statement after they've done all their chapters, because then they summarize it with those
Yeah.
two things. So we don't,
that's definitely a way
the
to
vision
do it.
statement, everybody gets stuck time-wise on the vision statement. It takes so long to express it, so. So Karen, good comment. So December 3rd, we'll use meeting time to continue on with our comments.
prepared when I can.
I don't, well,
Whoever's
So-
met with Brian gets to go first.
yeah. Here's a thought, right? You want to have this on the agenda for every meeting between now
Correct.
until it's done.
But December 17th, we're not going to have a lot of time to do that.
Yeah, I don't think we should even have it on the agenda for December. I think we should skip the 17th because between Top Spinway and Trader Joe's, you know.
Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's the week before Christmas. So I think every week except December 17th, unless we literally just cover one sentence in the plan on the 17th. But where I was going with this is, other than the 17th, you want to have it on the agenda.
Well, we'll have it on the
Done.
agenda on the 17th just in case, but keep going.
Until it's done.
Yeah,
And you want to go through it in chronological order.
we can. So that
Well,
means.
so that's a decision we have to make then tonight before we decide how we're going to
Well,
handle the
here's
chapters.
the deal.
Yeah.
We went, I think we should start with sustainability and natural resources. Because I'll tell you, we already went through housing and economic development. Because they're first and second, we always spend time on those. And then we run out of time as we go through the other ones.
Okay. Here's the only thing, though. I think it will be less confusing for everybody if we go in chronological
Okay,
order.
that's
And-
fine.
And if those are quick, right, then we'll get through them quickly and then just jump right into sustainability and natural resources.
All right, Karen, so it's me, then it's you.
Well, what does that mean, on what day?
So I'm going to be prepared to present my red lines on December 3rd. Just in case we get to them.
Right after public comment,
Yes.
because you'll be all ears on that public
Oh,
comment.
okay. I see what the issue is here then. Yeah, okay. Anyway.
I shall be prepared.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if that's the case, if you want to do the jump around model, then whoever wants to be prepared on the 3rd, you know.
I
or you
don't
can
think
draw
we should do that. I
straws.
think, you know, we have so many dates, and we have to fill it with.
All right, we'll do it
One
in
by one,
chronological
I
order,
think, chapter by chapter.
and that's why Rob is grinning back here because he's chapter 8. And he gets to go
I've
last.
got a big smile, I'm chapter 9.
Yeah, that's right.
But even if we have to rotate those through and somebody finishes first, we got to do one
All right.
chapter a week,
I like it.
think.
I like it. Let's do it.
Yeah, well, hopefully two.
For a week, we won't finish.
We won't finish.
Well,
Well,
you
that's
guys have gone
that's the next question then. How much do we hit each meeting? We do 1 and 2 for the 3rd.
We should be prepared
Yeah.
for 2 chapters for December 3rd. See how it goes. We did do some Saturday meetings last time. They were not popular. People skipped. No, I think you did. I think you went.
I do one or two of them, I think.
Right. They
So-
weren't popular. It was almost better meeting on a different Wednesday, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, the ZBA has this room on Wednesdays, but we could go upstairs and use a different room.
So I just had one other question then. I mean, I plan on going through and redlining the entire thing. How do we weave that into,
I'm going to send you
yeah,
my red lines for chapter 1. They're going to be almost the same because most of my red lines are because of the census data. Yeah.
but what I'm trying to get at is how are
And
we
we
gonna?
meet with you.
Yep,
We meet with you
yep.
or Zoom with you or whatever.
I'll meet with you.
You have the master copy.
Then we incorporate your red lines and
Our-
figure out, yeah.
Right,
okay.
your and my
Perfect.
red, and then that
Wonderful.
is what we work off of.
Wonderful. And then what I'll do is after each meeting, when we finalize the red lines for that chapter, I'll post the updated red line version onto the webpage.
Yep,
Good,
and
and-
you just
and-
put the date on, you know what I mean, like on the cover.
Oh, 100%.
Just put the
Yeah.
date.
Can I ask you a question, Brian? How much time are you spending on this now? I mean, is it a couple hours a day? Is it most of your day? Is it?
I'd say on average a couple hours a day. Yeah.
So would it be fair to say that you could meet with all of us before the 1st of January? if we take a 2-hour session with you somehow?
I don't know. It's nice that some things in the department, like some big things in the department, got put to bed today, so that's going to free up some time. And I'll share more on that, in the town planners report. But the 1st of I'm just trying to think, why that aggressive if we're
I don't know.
not shooting for
Well,
the second
because we
week
want to
in
get it
February?
done, and if we want to get it done by the 1st of May, having it redlined, and then being able to present it to the Cape Cod Commission, and then have the 30-day period for public, it starts to get, I like to have some pressure for getting it done.
Oh, no, 100%. I think probably with the meetings and 9 chapters, it may make sense to spread that out over, well, let me think about that.
We don't have much time.
Yeah. Well, see, the key missing date and variable, I originally thought, let me put it this way, Mike, I originally thought that we were going to have it finalized before warrant articles are due, in which case I would have said yes. But now that I know there's extra time there, it makes sense for us to build that into,
You have to
This meeting
request
schedule.
that. Do you know what I mean?
Placeholder.
You have to request a placeholder, and that will be done by the publication date.
right, but that's the date that we don't know. So we don't know when our hard stop deadline is if we're not using the due date for the original warrant article as the hard stop deadline.
Right.
Because we
They-
know
they-
we know the original warrant article date is the second week in February. We just don't know when this publication
Then
date
they
is that
write
you're
the
referring-
warrant, and then they bring it to the select board 3 or 4 meetings.
Yep, and it goes through FinCom.
Right.
So, but
So-
and we also, for any zoning bylaw changes we do, we have to have public hearings. But the big question is when is that drop dead deadline for us?
You'll have to work with the town manager's office, they can back.
No, I know. It's just, yeah.
Do we have to have a public hearing on this?
I think,
I don't think so. No, that's what the town meeting. I mean, the town meeting is like a public hearing on steroids. The town meeting is the Incredible Hulk of public hearings.
I'm in the public. Can I get a copy of this so I can, if I want to say something about the part I got,
There's going to be a link on our website.
so people know they can look it up. If they have a comment on Mike's part or your part,
Yeah.
so you know what they're looking at,
Yep, and every time we meet with Brian and it gets redlined, that gets posted.
Well, it'll get posted individual meeting, then the meeting
Yeah.
at the planning board, and then it gets posted on the webpage. Because
Right, so we got to get cracking. We really got to get cracking, so can
Absolutely.
you give me a date, arbitrary date, we want to meet with you, and then we can, because we have to meet with you, or we should meet with you, and I think it's a good idea, but then
Well, so
they
how
bring
many
it back
weeks
to the
out? How many
board.
weeks out is January 1? And we have to factor in Thanksgiving and Christmas, the holidays. How many weeks out is January 1?
I don't have a calendar in front of me, it's
Well,
about 10, right? It's the
yeah,
19th today?
Yes.
So we got 11,
30 days,
30,
half September,
31,
April,
and
June, and November. Right?
42, 7
30
weeks.
days, half September.
6
April,
weeks,
June, and
you're right,
November. Yeah,
Dale.
so
6
it's
weeks.
Yeah. For 9 chapters, let's do
Well,
it.
I think Mary's and Karen are down the road, aren't you?
So if you double down,
Fair.
if you count 2 as 1, then it's like having 8
I
chapters,
can meet with you
right?
next week,
We do two a week, like we did last time, and then
yeah.
I would say just like if your week's coming up, you plan it with Brian to say, all right, I'm coming in, in 2 weeks, I'm doing my chapter. Let's meet up in this time frame.
Okay, so for this coming December 3rd, Mary and Karen?
Yes, so we'll have to meet with you, I'll have to meet with you next week.
What are you doing for Thanksgiving? We can talk turkey.
Are you working Friday?
No. That's a hard no. I'm recuperating from having eaten entirely
Well,
too
that's
much
the
on Friday.
27th, that's Thursday, you still have another few days to
I can
get
meet with you
ready.
Wednesday. You around Wednesday?
Well, I don't even know if we're open on Wednesday. Maybe a half
Oh,
day.
how about Monday or Tuesday after
I
Thanksgiving?
can do Tuesday, but
Are you
that's
still on holiday?
Tuesday for housing. I think I've finished housing already. So yeah, no, I had definitely finished housing already. So Tuesday for housing. Yeah. Can are you ready by Tuesday?
I think Tuesday is I have to check.
Well, so is Wednesday a half day or is it a day off, or Thursday and Friday are off?
I don't
right?
work for the town of Mashpee.
I know, but it's state. It's set by the state.
No, the state holiday is Thursday. If this building is closed Friday, that's a
Town law.
town thing.
Well, Tuesday's a safe day. Let's put it that way.
All right, I will try.
Okay.
Oh, even if she does the next Tuesday. There's another Tuesday.
No, because the next Tuesday, isn't that,
the
they
day
have to get
before.
ready for the meeting. Do you know what I'm saying?
The red lines have to be in the meeting packet. Oh yeah, so that's the other thing. All of our meetings have to be
Right.
before the Wednesday.
I have to be
before
done. I have to be done by that end of week, because our next meeting, it's like Thanksgiving is Thursday, Wednesday is our next meeting, because Thanksgiving is so late. So I guess we are meeting on Tuesday,
Great.
because you're going to have to send out the packet on Wednesday.
Well, Hannah is, but yes.
Oh, boy.
Poor Hannah. She's gonna really enjoy Thanksgiving. Like,
All right, so
Thank
I will
God
leave
I'm
it
not
for you and
at work.
Karen to figure out a time
absolutely.
that week as well.
Yeah, that's easy, Karen.
A little lost.
Karen looks really happy about everything. Karen, say something so we can see your expressions.
Understanding what's going on.
Oh, you need to make an appointment with Brian for next week to go over the chapter about economic development.
Okay, but what about the redlining? Am I looking at final versions that you have and he?
Nope, you're gonna use the version that's in front of you, and you and Brian are gonna redline it in his office when you meet. And then that's gonna come out to us. It'll come out to the planning board for discussion on the 3rd.
Okay.
Karen, are you able to do that or not? Honest answer, like objectively looking at it, because the more we're talking this out, I am a little concerned. With the holidays, trying to
Okay, so what day would I have to meet with you, Brian?
Tuesday with all your red lines for economic development.
Next Tuesday, okay.
So can I take the first appointment of the day?
I mean, yes. I'll be honest with you though, I may not even be ready by then, but I'm gonna defer to your red lines.
We'll be good enough.
primarily then.
Let me just look at my schedules if I have some appointment or something. Hold on, I'm pretty sure, but.
Oh,
right.
actually, maybe I will be.
So while she's looking at the schedule, oh, go ahead, Rob.
The mechanics of the red line review, you have, in the draft that we're looking at, you have the surveys, you have the 3 days at the library where we all met, and things came out. We want to verify what came out for our particular chapters and to see if they've been rolled in properly
Okay.
into the chapter, and then if you see a conflict,
I have it all on Excel sheet. Do you want the Excel sheets?
yeah.
Okay, all right. So what I did was I took all those comments that were on the walls, all that stuff, and I typed them into an Excel sheet.
Okay.
Why do you need that?
I'm sorry.
Well,
yeah.
that, you have a.
I'm going to
summary
assume that Mary incorporated all of that stuff in. I mean,
Yeah, but I'm not reviewing his chapter like he
oh, on
is.
sustainability.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have
See.
to I'm gonna have to make a requirement if we're going this approach. 2 things I'm gonna need board members to do when they come in to meet with me. The first is your red lines are gonna have to be actual red lines. So if you do not know how to use track changes on Word, give me a call or give Hannah a call. We'll walk you through how to use that. All right.
Do we have this in
this-
Word?
If you don't, we will get it to you.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. The second is come in also with, you're going to have to, actually, it's 3 requirements. send me a soft copy of your red lines before we meet, or bring it in, on a laptop with yourself, and bring a hard copy printed out as well. And then we will cross-reference our red lines as we go through the chapters.
So
But-
how do you want us
the
to
most-
redline this?
So in Word, there's a track changes feature, and I have surprised myself in the last couple of weeks. Dale knows how many people I've educated about this feature, because a lot of folks, when they do red lines, they literally go and they change it to red ink, and then they put in a strike through. But all you have to do to redline a document, and it's easier to then accept changes, is you go up to the review tab on Word, and then you go down and you hit the track changes button. Correct me if I'm wrong here, Dale, right?
You
the
getting
track
this, Dennis?
changes button. And then what happens is when you make a change to a document, just like you were editing it without track changes, it automatically puts it in as a red line. And
Well, I'm
then-
going to have a session with you, so put me
That's
down
fine.
for another meeting.
Yeah, that's fine. In fact, what I'll do is I'll send out, this is what I'll do, it should work. I'll send out a Word version to folks with the track changes feature already set, so any changes you make will create red lines.
Now you're
Okay.
talking.
And so yep, okay. And you're responsible for your chapter and that implementation table, those red lines too. Is that too
The
much?
action,
No, yeah, of course you're
So-
responsible for both. So if you're doing,
So
if you're
I'm
doing housing, yeah,
I'm also responsible for the chart on housing.
everything that starts with an H for her. So for you, it's the transportation, goals, policies, actions. Yeah.
right.
It's not just the chapter, it's also the part of the implementation.
Okay,
But my recommendation is to start with the chapter,
yeah.
because it has the existing conditions.
Yeah,
And
and
it will
it
get you
has the
starting to think about,
Explanation of S's and O's
I
and
will ge-
how
I
many
will-
dollar signs.
I will send out the Excel sheets, Rob, that were my summary of everything. That was very useful.
Okay, but the bulk of them, or the significant part of them, are already incorporated.
Yeah.
in
I
here.
believe so.
Right.
I believe so. Because remember that meeting we had at the senior center? We went over that list, remember?
What-
That was in 2023,
How often are these plans produced? When was the last one completely?
1998.
Good, so it was another 27 years before we do this again, right?
We told the planner at that time, he was like, we can do this in a year, and I'm like, no, it's gonna take multiple years.
That wasn't the first one.
No, this is the one Michael Richardson was on the board,
Oh, all right, yeah.
right?
The first
And we
one
went
was-
over to the library, because we couldn't find another room, no, the senior center. And we went down and we did oh my gosh, I tortured you guys. We went line by line, goals, policies, and actions. And then they put it in, the consultant put it in the chart.
All right.
98, what did you say, 98?
The our first LCP was certified in 1998.
Yeah, I was on that one. Right, we went to 1 o'clock, 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. And people were complaining, the board, what is the goal? What is this? So I passed the motion, we had to end the meetings at 11 o'clock, or we had to vote to continue it. Because I was working, I think on the Big Digger, and be working 4 in the morning. So
You were getting like 3
I
hours
would
of
go
sleep.
From here.
Right to work, yeah.
I was like, oh, it's horrible.
All right, so I do have a couple of things that I've already noticed. Some big, high-level things. I don't think the flow neutral bylaw is really in here under any existing conditions.
In the ancient ways.
The 1998 plan has a lot of information about ancient ways that we need to put into existing conditions. And there's also a page, talks about the survey, I think it's I-14, it says, And here is a summary of the survey, and there's no summary. Did you notice that?
So I think with our current approach then, whatever sections those fall under,
So
So-
where would ancient ways go into? Open space?
I think there's a lot of categories it could go into, and we could potentially make a decision as a board. Here's why. I mean, ancient ways, yeah, I think open spaces.
Open space?
Open space is probably the best, but I do think it's also potentially important to also acknowledge it in, you know, the heritage section, the
Yeah,
DNR section.
that sounds to me like the better.
But yeah,
See, if I was looking for ancient ways, I would look in the open space section.
well, then we can put the bulk of it in there, but I think it may also just need
Okay.
yeah.
Where would ways to water go?
So wastewater is presently spread throughout the entire document.
No, the way to water.
Oh, ways to water.
Where was it last time?
That would be
That's either open space.
That's open space?
Open space or
Okay.
DNR. Sorry, I put my packet away.
Ways to water. All right,
Yeah, ancient ways, ways to water, I think that's all in, open space.
that's where I would look for it. Okay, so let's put it in open space. Where would we put the flow neutral bylaw? Where is wastewater in here?
Environmental.
So wastewater is all throughout. It's spread throughout the plan. Could do it potentially with natural resources. Yeah, sustainability. Good call, Dale. Yeah.
Okay.
And in your travels through this document, have you seen anything about population? A population cap?
Throughout, population is discussed throughout in various areas. So
Would that go into land use?
it's possibly under land use, although land use is typically more development, focused more on development itself and, zoning districts and,
I think it was in land use last time because it had to do with the build-out.
Yeah.
I think that's why it was in land use. Because we had a select board member that asked for that. We've already gotten comments. All right, so flow neutral we'll put in sustainability. Ancient ways and ways to water we'll put in open space.
I guess so, yeah.
Are you comfortable doing the summary of the survey, Brian? Or do you want me to?
the summary of the survey.
Yes, so in the beginning of it talks about the survey. It talks about all of our meetings, and it has these things.
Well, you weren't around for that.
Right, I was gonna say, I think
Says,
it may
the
make,
following is an overview of the results and analysis of the survey.
yeah,
It is none.
I mean, I think it may make more sense for you to do that. Like I
Alright,
said,
I'll do the
I'm
summary
gonna
of the
have red
survey.
lines for the whole thing, but if we're talking about divvying up the work for a concentration,
I
then,
already kind of have a summary of the survey that I always dig out whenever I go and talk about this.
Great.
I'll do my best. All right, sounds good? Everybody jazzed?
yeah, I'm trying to find my supplemental materials on this, but it sounds like it may make sense to table them till the next meeting anyway.
Yeah, if you find them, I'd love to hear them.
Well, I have a handful of emails. I mean, the other variable, I suppose, that we should work out this evening is, I presented this to the select board, and the select board is going to be providing comments as well, and they plan to get us those comments by early January.
End of the year, yep.
Yep. And I've also sent it out to all of the department heads, and those comments for the department heads have been coming in on a rolling basis. I asked to get them by November 26th. Some department heads have gotten me their comments already, and they're substantive. Others have gotten me their comments already, and they just say, looks good. Others have asked for more time because they've noticed things. In particular, Bobby in DNR definitely says there needs to be some reworking of the natural resources section, and also especially the description of DNR itself. And also Jess Colpitz in the clerk's office has asked for more time to get us comments back. But I did ask for a deadline there of the 26th. I won't, since we're breaking up the sections by day, or by meeting, I'm not going to go into those comments in details. I just wanted to ask this board how they think we should then factor that in.
I think you should give them to us as soon as you get them.
So,
Because, let's say Dennis is reading his chapter tonight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He'd like to see, I'm sure he'd like to see those comments.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's in there, or it was expressed in a way that needs to be tweaked.
I will say, Heidi McLaughlin provided me with some very thoughtful comments, particularly.
And she's with the senior center?
Yes. And
Go
that's
ahead.
why.
I'd love to hear them.
Oh, you want me to read them now, or?
Is that okay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay. Verbatim?
No, you can summarize them if she's
Well, it's focused obviously on older residents, and she did mention that she feels strongly about adding a number of items relating to them, especially given the fact that, Mashpee's population is, about almost 50% for the 60 plus and over group. Summarizing them, she very much would like to see a needs assessment to identify the needs of older adults, ranging everywhere from facility capacity to, dealing with cognitive issues, support for cognitive issues.
That's great.
Developing a plan to expand or renovate the senior center, adopting policies and practices that supports safe and inclusive living for older adults, and again with a focus on cognitive impairment.
And just out of curiosity, who would be spearheading this?
She would. I'd
She would.
imagine.
It's her idea.
Yeah, we'd have to look up the acronym there, but it may be SC.
It's CA, Council on
yeah.
Aging.
And then maintain fiscal sustainability for aging services by planning financially for the growing needs of an older population.
Those are good.
Yeah. She also threw this in there, which I thought was interesting. We don't do blood pressure clinics or candid coffee hours anymore.
Yep. Remember the county used to do that?
yeah.
The county nurse used to go around and take your blood pressure, that kind of stuff.
And then she talked a little bit about kind of current transportation services that are already available, since the plan talks about supplementing those. So,
That's like three
Route
parts of the
four
plan. Transportation, facilities.
if you all want, I can also dig up that email from the Cape Cod Commission if you thought tonight might be appropriate.
That's
evening to go
okay.
over it.
I'll read that and weep later. How's that? Is that okay? Yeah.
Sounds good. All right, then I'll table the rest of the comments then and send them out to the board.
Karen, any other thing about the LCP?
No, all I can tell you is my whole file is all messed up, the pages are every which way. I wish we had a giant staple to put this thing together.
Well, see Brian and get the tracker or whatever it is.
Karen, we have a nail gun in the office.
Nail gun. Yeah. Give Karen a binder clip.
Yeah, by the way, these are great chip clips. If you have extra ones after you get through with the whatever document.
have to learn polka too. Okay.
Dr. Brian.
I learned football, I've learned polka. Okay, I guess can we go on to the next item? Okay.
Can we take a 1 minute bathroom?
Yes, let's take a break.
5 seconds.
We're gonna be in recess for 5 minutes.
My whole packet's a mess right now after that.
I can tell you, this is the last one of these I'm gonna be doing.
Just remind me, when you do the tracker, the red lines come out red.
Yep.
It identifies who made the change.
Yep.
If you want to retract,
Usually it does,
yeah, usually there's an initial or how you want to be identified. If you want to retract it and rewrite it,
Yep.
are they gonna just add another change? That was my
No,
experience.
not if it's a red line portion. Like if you redline it and then delete that red line,
Oh, just
you're
do it again.
usually
Okay.
starting from a fresh
Okay.
slate. But it will still show the original deletion for the time, so long as you haven't accepted that actual change. You see what I'm saying? When you
So I got a paragraph and I said, nah, I want to change a couple of words.
Mm-hmm.
I have to delete it and then redo it. But yet, there'll be lines through it as being deleted.
Yep.
And not accepted, and the final version is accepted.
Yep.
So I make lots of changes.
Well, don't accept-
That was one
yeah.
issue I used to have.
Bottom line is don't accept anything. Just redline and don't accept any of your changes. You leave that to the department after things are finalized. Yeah. And you'll be fine. Make sense?
Yeah, I used,
And just one thing so you don't get confused, if you delete a lot, it like puts it off to the side and condenses it.
you're right. There's a compressed symbol.
Yeah.
What did he say before that? A lot of times it's,
I'm actually gonna step outside too.
Yeah.
Ready to do this again?
All right. Can't go much longer. The Bruins start at 10.
Fading away.
We're still on the air?
I believe we are. Yep.
I have an LCP migraine. Oh, God. Oh, the future of Mashpee is in our hands.
Serious.
I know.
Migraine.
Well. Oh, excuse me.
Guys, I'll be doing this some more. I'm the tribe's representative on the Cape Cod Commission now.
I'm so excited.
I'll be looking at these more and more.
You get to approve our plan. Stick up for us.
First meeting's tomorrow,
Holy smokes.
the training.
That's great.
Where is that? Barnstable, did I read?
Barnstable, yep, Barnstable.
Yeah, well, good for you. You're going to be awfully busy. Hey, Dennis, you missed Dale's news.
I'm on the Cape Cod Commission nowadays.
Oh,
For the tribe.
congratulations.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
really
that-
cool.
You want to take more responsibilities now, huh? With the new baby?
It's like the
New
punishment.
baby, commissioner. Wow. Okay, so I think
Oh, it's good
we're all
though,
back.
you know.
Let's reconvene. Report on chair's activities, none. Town planner report.
Okay, I have actually quite a bit to report on.
You do.
Yeah, but I will be brief on each of them. The first, as you can see on the agenda, is the OSRP RFP update. So that's the open space and rec plan. So Mike just just when you think you're out of the woods with the LCP, we're going to hit you with another plan. I met with the CPC last night on this matter, and I briefed them and updated them. I told them we're still on target to finalize the RFP for early January to put it out to bid. Affordable Housing Committee and Affordable Housing Trust update. I've had a couple of good conversations with Mike Sparks, who's the current chair of the AHC, and we've talked out kind of a general game plan for educating his committee members, since it's a relatively new committee, who's, all of the members are either new to the AHC or in Mashpee or new to affordable housing or both. So we're laying out a framework to kind of get the fundamentals of the affordable housing world down, as well as to, contemporaneously introduce Barrett Consulting to help work with them to structure both the AHT and the AHC and the relationship between the two. I'm going to put new consulting engineering at the end, make sure I don't forget to do that. Topspin Way had a Board of Health meeting this evening. The applicant verbally assented to a continuance of the Board of Health's 45-day deadline to make recommendations to this board, because I had asked them to wait until we have our peer review finalized by our engineers, so that the Board of Health recommendations can include our engineers' analysis of that. We plan to put them on for the 17th for our agenda, because they were continued by the Board of Health to December 3rd. So following December 3rd, they should get back to us with recommendations based on our engineers' peer review. It sounds like kind of a roundabout way of doing it, but that's just the way the subdivision control law is structured. Our purview when it comes to the SCL and subdivisions is primarily dimensional requirements. Secondarily, our rules and regulations, and then the only other way we can condition plans is through Board of Health recommendations. So that's how you get things like drainage in. Article 5, Department Red Lines. This, I'm not sure to what extent folks had the opportunity to look at those red lines that are in your packet, as well as the case law supporting them. We obviously, at some point in time, will have a public hearing on that. The main point of clarity that I wanted to make, both for this board and for the public, is the PENS working group, which is the pre-existing non-conforming structures working group, which previously was called the Papaneset Raise and Replace matter. We've decided we're going to bifurcate the process of adjusting Article 5, which deals with pre-existing non-conforming structures, in our zoning bylaw. The reason we're doing it that way is I have technical departmental changes that I want to make that are not of a substantive and or political nature. They're just technical departmental changes that I want to make to update the zoning code to match current case law, as well as current practices in the building department for determining when a building permit can be issued as of right for adjustments to pre-existing non-conforming structures versus when they go for a Section 6 finding, that's an MGL Chapter 40A Section 6 finding, versus when they go for a special permit. There's one key case that's out there, as well as a number of other cases that came down subsequent to that case, and that's the Bjorklund case. I won't bore everyone too much with the details, but the Bjorklund case effectively decided that if you have a structure on a pre-existing non-conforming lot, then that even if the structure itself complies with all other dimensional requirements, that structure is the non-conforming nature of that lot makes the structure itself non-conforming. Yeah, and the general policy behind that is net effect from a practical policy standpoint, even though from a legal standpoint it's kind of upside down logic if you were looking at it from a purely legal perspective. But the the SJC often deals with policy, and so they shape the law based on policy. The net effect of that is it more greatly empowers local municipalities on how to decide what to do with the McMansion phenomenon, for lack of a better word. So these updates are, my plan is to initiate them as a department and get them on for the Springtown meeting. They are purely technical. They're not the substantive updates. They're not telling, they're not the unique to Mashpee updates. They're not the focused on Papaneset updates. They're across the board. They're town-wide, and they're based on state law. So it's really just a general update of a technical nature. Yes,
So those are the ones you've presented us thus far?
absolutely.
Okay.
Yep, and I plan to, at the suggestion of Bob Orsi in the working group, I plan on doing a quick memo and also putting them up online. And then we'll get town council to review them, and then we'll schedule a public hearing and do the whole formalities of getting it, because I want to do it as a warrant article for Springtown meeting. Then for fall, then what's going to happen is, and this is important for the public to know, particularly people in Papaneset and people who are interested with the Penn's working group, formerly the Papaneset Raise and Replace, is right on the heels of town meeting, assuming the technical changes to match with state law pass, right on the heels of that, we're going to start opening up the working group to the public and having public workshops all in the spring, and then throughout the summer, and then shoot to have the custom to Mashpee changes that's, focused on things like what do we do with rebuilds in Papaneset and those kinds of issues, shooting for those changes to be the fall town meeting. Now, my perspective on this is, as a department, my job is to focus on the technical side of things, and that's why I'm bifurcating this, because I just want to get us current with state law and current building practices. The working group is based on public input, is going to decide what to bring to town meeting in the fall for the Mashpee specific substantive changes. So that was rather long-winded,
It's
but
supposed to report back to us.
oh no, they absolutely
Right,
will.
okay.
No,
All right.
well, they have to by state law. If you want to change the zoning code, all roads, like in Italy, all roads lead to Rome. If you want to change the zoning code, all roads lead to the planning board. So,
Does the ZBA come into any of this?
So
well,
we should send these changes to the ZBA for
yeah,
comment.
and they're welcome to. Well, I mean, these changes, yeah, I'm not concerned what the ZBA thinks about these changes, because they match state law, and I already talked to Dave, but I'm not opposed to sending it to him, but, there's very little room for public comment on the changes.
This has been the hot potato. ZBA, you do it. No, planning board, you do it.
Well,
ZBA, so it would be good to send these red lines to them.
No, but so
without
that's phase
explaining.
2. The hot potato is phase 2, and the ZBA
Oh,
will
well,
definitely
yeah.
get looped in then. These are the technical
This
changes.
is a nice soft launch.
Yeah, these are the technical changes, though, so.
Because we have not written them a memo saying we're doing this. I mean, they probably know about it,
Oh,
but,
they absolutely know about it. I
but
mean,
we
Dave-
haven't
yeah.
formally said,
Yeah.
hey, we're doing this, and this is a good
Sure.
soft launch to let them know.
Sure.
They're the ones that
Yes,
do all the, in Papaneset.
Yep.
They always get variance.
Well, the ZBA will be invited to the working groups the post-Springtown meeting working groups, right? So, I mean,
I would tell you, if you present this to ZBA, as long as you talk about it conforming with state law.
Yep.
They're down the
Yeah.
middle.
yeah. And my thoughts are, so I've been working with Dave on this. And
you gotta
Dave-
understand the history. They wrote a zoning law bylaw change and didn't tell us, and submitted it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The polite thing to do is to give people a heads up.
Well, how did they submit it, though?
Bylaw review committee
But,
went through.
Yep.
I know.
But there's only 2 ways to
I
submit a
know.
bylaw change. and
I
it's
tell
through
people
the planning
these
board
things.
or as a petitioner.
I know.
So how did it go to town meeting?
Yes.
Okay, so was it submitted as a petitioner article and the ZBA was the petitioner, or did it go through planning board?
Didn't go through the planning board, Brian.
Okay, so then it would have had to have been a petitioner article, otherwise it's not a valid change.
I know.
Yeah.
Try being the only person in town that knows that and trying to get everybody to, town council disagreed. Town council disagreed.
If it was a petitioner's article,
That's
then-
water under the bridge.
Yeah.
Remember the year that we had like 11 bylaw changes? And like, we had proposed one and we were like, what the heck are these? They didn't tell us about it. They'd been working on it for a long time. And one of them was the raise and replace.
That's why I brought up the
Remember?
ZBA.
Yeah, yep. So we play nice. We're gonna let them know ahead of time.
Great. Well, so I would just encourage the board to take a look at those red lines, and if they have questions regarding the logic behind it, to take a look at the case law behind it, and we can have a more substantive discussion on it as we get ready for the public hearing on it. But these will get tweaked slightly. In fact, there's already some slight tweaks that I know I want to make based on conversations with the working group after our last review. I'm also going to review them with town council's office, and then we're going to have a final red line draft, and then that's what's going to go to a public hearing. But I will say this, that where it's at right now, absent minor tweaks, I am very strongly encouraging this board to pass, because we're about 9 years behind case law right now. And it's what the building department's doing anyway, and it will make it
How
a
many
lot.
years has Tom Fidella been retired? 9 years.
So it will make
Maybe
things
10.
clearer for the public, for sure. So,
That's it is an incredible amount of work. I'm sorry I didn't get through it all, but thank you.
yeah, absolutely. Then, sorry, one quick.
Then we have
Oh, I'm not-
Island Pickle.
I wish I were done with my report.
We have Island Pickle, and Dennis has a report on Old Barnstable.
Yeah. So I already mentioned that I met with the select board on the LCP. I already
Yeah.
talked about CPC. I had a meeting with Barnstable County, the housing, new housing program, Michael Dutton's baby.
Okay.
That was this morning. That was very productive. One idea that I expressed interest to the group on that is the concept of a wholesale that Mr. Dutton had brought up, so I expressed that we would be interested in that, or I certainly would be interested in learning more about that. A wholesale to retail loan program for affordable housing, where the program gets wholesale loans at a lower interest rate and then provides them on a retail basis to qualified affordable homes applicants. But instead of building in a profit margin, they build in the minimum risk margin that you need in bumping up the interest rates. So it allows the home purchasers to get lower interest rates, because you're not, no money's going to a bank CEO's bonus, So that's something that I thought would be interested in looking into. Talked about AHC, then the only other thing is I intend to submit a DLTA application to the Cape Cod Commission for funding to do a feasibility study for the town-owned lot that's about 10 acres over here, to take a look at potential uses for it for an affordable housing project.
Make sure it has a title search.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we can put that into the feasibility study. Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, a thorough.
People are doing all these things and going, oh, can we use that land for that? Let's do that first.
Next is I've been working with Permit Eyes on deciding whether or not to go live and I've been working with the building department, the treasurer's office, the accounting office, town manager's office, and IT to effectively formulate a cost-benefit analysis on whether or not it's worth activating the planning portal. Either way, we are going to make adjustments to the tree preservation bylaw applications on Permit Eyes, because presently folks can only drop off hard copy checks in the department. Then last but not least, drum roll, should I do a drum roll? We have gotten a signed contract in from Ty and Bond
Holy
this
smokes.
afternoon.
Good, yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations, that's wonderful. Congratulations to all of us. That's great news.
Yeah, that was actually a tremendous amount of work. But I'm glad I was authorized at least to explore both options with Beals and Thomas. We did put that 48-hour deadline on the table and said, get rid of the limits of liability, or we're just going to have to start
went
negotiating.
for it.
with another firm.
And so you don't have any limits of liability now with this
Correct.
contract?
Yeah, correct. And we were actually also able to negotiate some pretty favorable wording
This is the
regarding
people
coordinating with developers, engineers to make sure that they don't backfill and basically send, phone in a report on, hidden drainage components and pipes and that kind of stuff. So that wording's in there. And then we ensured adequate insurance, minimum insurance limits, individually in the aggregate and for an umbrella policy. And also a tail, since I originally recommended an occurrence-based policy, their coverage is claims made base, so we built in a tail to protect against that.
So they're ready to go?
Yes, sir. We are. I've already sent them Top Spinway and Trader Joe's, so we're off to the races.
Cool.
That's my report.
Wow, well, thank you very, very much for that. That was good. Island Pickle.
Oh yeah, Dennis and I went out there. I feel like I've been
course
talking too
Dennis
much. Do you
went
want to
out
talk about that? Or?
All right, it's the Dennis report. Go ahead, Dennis.
Oh, it's really good, it's coming along. But he's not ready to open when he thought it was gonna be.
Okay.
And I meant to show you the driveway with the stone, where the water goes through, where they're gonna have the dumpster, and the fire truck was gonna go down. I don't know if you noticed that. It was.
That's the
at the
straight
end.
driveway
Yeah,
on
the
the
straight
Yeah.
driveway.
right side as you're looking at.
Yeah. What about it?
That's a nice feature because
Yeah.
the water drains down right there,
Yeah. Well, if you recall, we went back and forth with their engineers like 3 or 4 times and making sure that complied with our strict emergency vehicular access provisions in our code. And it's funny because when I went out there for the first visit, they were laying down the stones for that entrance. And it just happened to be, it wasn't coordinated at all. So I snapped some photos because it just happened to be like perfect timing. But yeah, I would second Dennis's comments. I mean, it looks beautiful. Even the design looks better in person than it did on paper.
Yeah.
For the exterior structure, and the interior is just fun. He's got the tiki theme going. He's got the pickleball courts there. It was not complete in time for the ribbon cutting. There is still work to do, but he is going to reschedule the ribbon cutting when everything's done. And I mean, it's just going to be a fantastic contribution to our community. I'm really excited about it.
You know what I'd like to see on the panels on the outside? Maybe some drawings of Mashpee. Maybe 2 or 3 of them. Like, different parts of Mashpee, because it's just a plain gray building. And it has, the front doors look all right, but I think it needs something to spark that right out,
I'm sure he'll come up with something
Pickle,
creative.
Yeah. The pickle,
I'm sure he'll come up with something creative. And we also want to see how it looks after the landscaping. But yes, speaking of the pickle stuff, outside the restrooms, he's got like little pickle signs for signifying
Men's room?
well, and women's room, but it's, and then the locker rooms. It's like it's pretty cool. He's got at the juice bar. So there's 2 bars. One is the more like the restaurant bar where there's alcoholic beverages, and then the juice bar. At the juice bar, which is I think thoughtful that he didn't put this feature at the alcoholic bar, but for seats he has swings hanging from the ceiling, which makes sense if you're drinking non-alcoholic beverages, but I think if folks are drinking alcoholic beverages, that might be slightly problematic.
And then he has the beams where the bar is.
Oh, yeah.
And they're from a torn down building in Provincetown.
Really?
Providence, Rhode Island.
Huh.
Yeah, they're pretty nice.
Oh yeah, he used a lot of reclaimed wood, and yeah, it's a really cool, the color schemes and everything. I mean, he really has the Tiki Island theme going. I wouldn't be surprised if when it's up and running, you get like cored pineapple drinks and that kind of stuff.
Do you know what he's selling memberships now?
Yep, yeah, they're already online for sale, and I know he's got a bunch booked up already. I don't think they're fully sold out, but he's selling them fast. So
Good for him.
yeah.
So you have to be a member to play in there, or can people go?
It's both. So actually, it's in terms of the pickleball play. This is my understanding, is that it's like effectively there's three options. One is your regular membership. Two is rent by the day or the time period, and then three is that he actually has a separate section just for folks who like want to rent out the facility.
Yeah.
So he can keep the regular facility open and rent out like this smaller subsection of the facility. So.
That's
Yeah,
great.
but it's great. It was a great idea, and really excited to see it coming along. And Bill Russell's a great guy. I mean,
He's a really nice
everybody, yeah, he's a great guy. Everybody in the town.
Everything he said, he's doing, you
Yep.
know what I mean? He's just,
When I pulled in, he come running over and says, "What are you doing here?" 'Cause he goes, and I saw up front. He goes, "Oh, I know your voice." From the he goes, I go, "Right." It made me laugh. I know your voice.
that's great. All right, and then Old Barnstable Road?
They didn't put no signs up,
Okay.
and stuff. I went by there twice this week, last week and this week. And I went since today. And I don't know what he's waiting for, to put the stop signs and the lines down. Because it's kind of dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, just the lines would be so much
Yeah.
an
Well,
improvement.
You live there, you know this.
But yeah, I mean, you drive by it and like, which way do I go?
Yeah.
And people coming out or going in, like, am I in the right lane or?
So
Do I go
we
around
agree on what these lines should be and where they
Yeah.
should be, but they haven't been done yet.
Right, and then, I'm not sure of the signage, but the lines,
Definitely the lines, that's what
lines with
arrows.
arrows.
But how do we correct this,
I don't know, I went there and I met Kenny Masters.
right?
I think it was with you, but I met him before.
Yep.
And I said, "You gotta put lines so people coming down know,
And what did he say?
oh, I'm gonna get them out."
Well, how about today?
Yeah, it's been weeks he's been saying.
So there's a revised striping plan, right? We met with him and with Ed.
Well, with Ed, he advised him.
And
Can you push him?
Well, so I bumped into him, 2 days before the last planning board meeting, and he said the striping's come in. I didn't even bring it up. He just volunteered it to me. He's like, the striping's come in. We're just waiting for a sunny day to do it. But I checked with Dennis today, and it's not in. So that surprised me because I think we've had some sunny days since then. I know we definitely had some rainy days.
I don't know what
But-
it means, the stripers came in, they paint them on.
Yeah.
It's a machine.
Yeah, it's not,
3 or 4 layers.
Can you drop him an email?
Sure.
Thanks. All right.
That's my report.
Okay, good. Board member and committee reports. Cape Cod Commission?
nothing for me on that. And Dale should be the one with our associate liaison to the Cape Cod Commission since he's now on it.
Would you mind taking over that report from now on?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Did you hear the news? Dale's on the Cape Cod Commission.
Congratulations, Dale.
Yep.
It's very exciting.
Thank you.
It's super exciting. Okay. Charter Review Committee, we meet next December 2nd.
Oh,
Charter Review. Charter Review, and we're closing down. We're gonna, there should be a draft of our final report. And the things that we passed at town meeting will be voted on in May. All right, Community Preservation Committee. We received 5 applications for this round of funding. Mashpee Housing Authority requested $222,000 for improvements at Homemeyer Village. That's the affordable housing, kind of near Christ the King, that white building. Siding, windows, and doors. It's the 25% local match that the state requires. It's a $1.1 million project, so that's.
they just had new roof put in last year, right?
They got money for a new roof, and that work is starting soon. They did Breezy Acres, which is on Old Barnstable,
Yeah.
and they did the roofs, the doors, the trims. That looks nice.
When I drive by there, the houses are new, and they re-sided the whole, every
They looked
house.
new, but that
Like,
exterior
who built
siding,
those houses, Bonvy? But I don't know, but
yeah, right, that material did fail.
It
But,
fails.
yeah,
These are brand-new houses and they're stripping them down.
yeah. And then the Affordable Housing Trust has put in an application for $500,000. And they're a realty trust, so they can hold that money and use it in between town meetings. The First Pentecostal Church, which is right here at 258 Main Street, Route 130, they're in the Historic District, and they asked for $190,000 of historic preservation funding. The Historical Commission asked for $151,000 to finish off the war memorial, the current one they're working on. They did have to reconfigure it. The bids came out like really high, so they actually took some components out, but they still need a little bit more to finish that. And then this is interesting, the Ella and, is it Horatio? Ella and Horatio Amos House?
Yeah.
And that's at 701 Great Neck Road. So I think south.
So that's right in New Seabury.
It's right across the street, so that's a historic building. It's vacant right now.
Yeah.
It's privately owned. They've asked for $1.4 million to rehab it.
Where is it exactly?
It's right up, almost at the corner of Great Neck Road South and like Red Brook, kind of like.
You know,
Trying to think of where,
there's a big house right.
big white
at the
house.
corner. It's right behind it.
okay.
It's right
I mean,
across
that's
from,
where I live, so I don't.
yeah, it's right by New Seabury. It's like
this
right by the
building.
entrance to New Seabury.
That money for the church here.
So,
How can you
So-
get money to a church?
right. So community preservation money has been used to preserve historic buildings, including churches. Because remember, back in the day, you couldn't have a town unless you had a church. And the church was town hall. And then in the 1800s, the state legislature passed an ordinance or a bill that you had to have a separate building.
All right.
So, right? But that's the thing. Some of these churches, some churches are actually used as voting places,
Yeah.
right? So,
I've seen them already. So.
what we decided to do for the church and for this building, because it is privately owned, is to ask town council for some guidance on if they're eligible, if we wanted to fund it, is there anything, is there any criteria we should be looking for, So yes, that is a good question.
A better question is, what would be the private owner's intent for the building? Are they going to reside in it with $1 million of town money? Or are they going to offer it up for some common good?
Rob's not referring to the church projects.
No,
He's
no.
referring
Right, so we've gone over to the Amos House, which, excuse me, which is a historic building. I don't think it's on the register. But, yeah, and it might be the kind of project that needs some help from the Historical Commission. Do you know what I mean? So we'll see where that goes. Sometimes you have a deadline, the funding deadline, people run and they scramble and they get stuff in, and then these conversations continue. Yeah, Rob, I will bring that question back.
Okay.
All right, that's my report. Design review and plan review. Karen?
No meeting.
No meeting for plan review either.
Okay. Environmental Oversight Committee.
No meeting.
Historical District.
No meeting.
Okay, I think that's it.
I got my question.
One thing, okay.
Mike asked if we could go on a walk around at where the market's going. Is that still on board to go up and check out the property?
This is Trader Joe's.
Trader Joe's, yeah. I went there, I went through the woods and stuff to look at it, but I don't know if anybody else.
I went through
Yeah.
the whole place.
I'd like to go. I'd like to go with the project proponent, and I'd like to go up to Unit A and B.
Yeah.
Yeah, John Miller sent me some pictures of the delivery truck going down.
So if you get something from somebody, forward it right to Brian so
I think
that,
he sent it to you.
yep, it needs to come into our public hearing.
Okey doke.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
regardless, the truck was in a precarious position if
Yeah.
there was another truck coming by.
Yeah,
Just
I
for the
think those
public,
pictures-
don't
those
send
pictures were in
things
the
to
last meeting
individual
packet.
planning board members, because it might not get into our official record. So, but if you get something as an individual, send it right to Brian,
Yeah.
and they'll get it into our official record. I don't want to
He
miss
did send
anything.
it to you, or he told me he sent it to you.
Yeah, those pictures are, I think, in our packet. So, I mean, it's a good point of clarity to remind the public that that's the way to submit things so that they're part of the hearing. Otherwise, board members really shouldn't
Right.
consider them. But those pictures, if they're the ones I'm thinking of, they were in the last meeting packet as well. So,
But I think, Brian, can you arrange a site visit for us?
yes.
I would like the sooner the better, just because I know we're going to be, these meetings are going to continue, but I really don't want to be out there in February. I'd like to get out there in December.
Well, so I did email the developer on that, as well as a couple of other items. I know you and I were chatting about this before the meeting, and I didn't mention that detail to you, is that I had already emailed them about it. So I am still waiting to hear back on what dates they think.
Yeah.
And I also emailed the developer about bringing in, pursuant to Mike's idea, is bringing in a representative from Trader Joe's to one of the hearings. So I'm also waiting to hear back on that as well.
May I interject? I walked through the property, and maybe the proponent could mark the boundary line between A and B. It drops off quite a bit, but I'm not sure where Trader Joe's ends and where Deer Run,
I see what you're saying.
yellow ribbons or red ribbons.
Yeah,
or
that would be
something.
that would be
That would
helpful
be,
before our visit.
On just existing trees, I don't even think putting a stake in there, but
Yeah,
give you a little
it's a good idea.
of where and then what you could see, and, and if you're gonna walk the property, wear long pants, because
Okay.
the little thorns
Okay.
grab your ankle, and I mind Coumadin, and I looked at, I said, oh.
Take back the idea.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, anything else? If not,
No, I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
all in favor, say aye. Oh, we
Aye.
got to do by roll call. Rob?
I
Dale?
Aye.
Dennis?
Aye.
Michael? Karen?
Aye.
Mary's an aye. Thank you very